Hey guys, my name is Zakil and welcome to YouTube channel BTechCareerGuide. So in this video, let us see one of the product-based companies placement tests which was conducted today. So the company is Uber. So most of the people are in our group and the outside people also writing the Uber test and test was completed. So I'm releasing the solutions. Okay, the questions they have asked and the solutions. So before itself, I'm telling that the programs which I've written, the first program has executed successfully. The second program have passed few default test cases. The third program passed most of the test cases, but two hidden test cases were failed. So I'm initially telling I will be genuine with you. So this is how the test cases and the programs which I've written. And one of the requests from my side is like in case if you execute all the programs correctly, just give us the code. So do comment in the description box the code which you have written so that it will be helpful for the people who are following our channel. Okay, so that's the only one request. So I'll be showing the code which I've written, but there are certain conditions which our code doesn't met. Okay, so the first question, here you go. So given three numbers p q r, calculate remainder when p power q negation is divided by r, where q factorial is the product of the first q positive numbers. Okay, so q factorial is the product of first q product numbers. That's fine. That's we know factorial is nothing but the product of the natural numbers, and then we need to divide it with the remainder. Okay, so here you see sample test case. So p is equal to 3, q is equal to 3 and r is equal to, so q factorial, which means 3 factorial is equal to 6, because 3 to 1, 3 to 6 and into 6 into 1 is equal to 6, right? So then p power q is equal to 3 power 6 is equal to 729, and then remainder of 729 divided by 2 is equal to 1. So r is 2, right? So that's why we will be dividing with 2 to get the result as 1. So that's the first question. And one more thing is like, so there are different kinds of environments that we're gonna use when you do a compiler, when you open this Quinoa platform. But this compiler, this Uber app provided, we should not give the inputs to the compiler. Rather, just we need to write the main function and the return. That's it. So you should not take inputs again. So this is how the syntax they are giving. Just you write the definition function. That's it. You don't need to take inputs. Okay. So this is one of the mistakes that which I did. So we need to study the compiler behavior before we start this. So there are no certain proper instructions that were given to not to take the inputs. So we given the inputs, but so it told errors for us. But later we recognize that though we should not give the inputs, and then we solved accordingly. Okay, so hope you understand the first question. So I will be showing the code because I don't have another screen to explain the entire logic. Just I will be pausing the video for a couple of seconds. You just make a note of the code. Okay, so sometimes I'll explain. Okay, don't worry. So here you go with the question. We'll read. So here you see def solution of PQR. So this is a function definition that they have given, and then factorial is nothing but the, I have inputted the math, and then factorial of q, which means q we need to take the factorial, right? So for the q value, which is 3, we need to get the factorial. So factor of 6 is nothing but, factor of 3 is nothing but 6. So we'll be storing the factorial here, and then we need to find the power, right? So you can directly find the remainder as well as the power by using the power of p comma factor of r. This is one of the what we call one of the tactic of programming language. You can go to the Greeks for Greeks website, I guess, to find directly. You can find the remainder by passing the another variable to here. So let me do it. Power function with reminder. Okay, I think there is a block written in Greeks for Greeks, I guess. Okay, not this. Okay, so here I guess I think I have studied them before past. I don't remember much, but we can pass the x value to find the remainder. I'll pass the 3 variables. Okay, let me search in that manner. So of x comma y comma z in Python. So see, so the power of x comma y function characterizes the value of x to the power of y. If the third argument z is passed power of x y z, the function returns the x to the power of y and the modulus. Okay, see, this is the condition that we require, right? So that's why we use the another extra argument or parameter to pass to the power function, which is power function. Okay, so this is one of the tactic. So basically, just remember. Okay, mostly it will be useful once you gonna solve this kind of problems. Okay, so what is the test case they have given? 3 3 2. So let me enter 3 3 and 2. So we got the result as 1. And super, the very simple, very basic code. The first question is very basic, guys. Very basic means very basic. And for this code, as I told you, it passed all the test cases. So it passed, there are 10 test cases and we got the score 100. Okay, so we passed each and every test case, which is one sample test case and then 9 written test cases, and we got a score of 100. Okay, so that's the first question. So let us see the second question. So given three strings P, Q, R, count the possible number of ways to create string R using string P and string Q such that the order of the selected characters in the string is preserved and at least one character of both of the strings P and Q is selected. Okay, so string will have maximum length of 100 and they will consist of lowercase English alphabets, all the lowercase English alphabets, and fitted to the inputs, and they return the answer in the module of 10 power 9 plus 1. See sample test case. P is equal to AB, Q is equal to BA, and R is equal to ABA, and the output should be 2. So why? There are only two ways. There you go. So there are only two ways to form ABA, which means from P we need to take A, from Q we need to take BA, so that you will be forming ABA. And then from P we're gonna take AB, and then from Q we're gonna take A. So there are only two possible ways to get the solution ABA. Okay. So let us see the code for that. So I have written bulk of lines of code for that to get the answer. But in case if you know, so this is what I have written. But in case if you find any optimal solution, just put it in the description box so that the group people or the community people which we are having, BTechCareerGuide community people, will be seeing it, and it will be helpful for them to write the text, okay, easily. So now this is the logic which I have written. I am taking the length and then I am taking the array with all the zeros, and then again I am assigning to the one. You can directly put it here, but somewhat I need like that. And then we are taking a bulk of loops to do all those modulus operation to find which is a perfect thing or not, and then bringing the result here. Okay, so this is lot of it's basically gets confused, unless and until you don't know what each line is. Okay, so I'm don't have second screen as I told, so I can't explain each and every line. But so this is a code, okay, for the second question. So if I run this code, so first input is AB, and then BA, and then ABA. So we get the output as 2. So don't worry, this code really I'm gonna tell you, I will be genuine with you. So this is a code which I have written. Okay, so the code, how does the code perform? So that's the thing you want to write. So it has passed for one test case, one default test case, and it is failed for the second one. For the second input it should be 4, but the code which I have written has written 3, so which is a random mistake. Okay, so that's it. I want to tell you, like, not every code works. Sometimes we're gonna do mistakes. Like there are few edge cases, but we don't have certain time to write all those edge cases, and sometimes it fails. So this is one such program where it passed only one default test case. That's it. Okay, so I want to make it sure here itself. Okay, if you want to write this code, you can write, or else if you know the optimal solution, just give it a shout out in the description box. That's it. Okay, so now let us see the third question. So this is the one of the biggest question which took me a lot of time. It took me more than 30 minutes to discuss the logic, to think about the logic. Okay, but it's very simple. But sometimes we overcomplicate the solutions, and then we try to find the optimal solutions for each and every problem. That's why it takes a lot of time to write 2 to 3 lines of code also. So let us see the coding. The Professor X has to solve the perennial problems of the budget of a school picnic. Each student is identified by a unique roll number R of I. So R is the list where it will be storing a list of IDs of all students. Okay, and the unique identification number A of I. So unique identification number like R Aadhaar. So they are storing it in a array A or list A. The total amount of the trip will be calculated as the sum of the cost of each of the rounds, as long as there are at least 2 students remaining in the class in a single round. Okay, so just understand this. The total amount of the trip will be calculated as the sum of the cost of each round. So each round, as long as there are at least 2 students. So at least there should be 2 students, so that they can calculate each round in a class in a single round. Okay, so professor will select 2 students in the class and let them be P and Q. So choose unique identification number A of P of 1 and roll number R of Q of others, and the value of A of P into R of Q is the amount of trip. So that's the amount of trip, right? Or another value is vice versa. Either you can do this way or you can do that way. So multiplication. gives the same result. 2 into 3 is equal to 6 and 3 into 2 is equal to 6. Okay, sorry. So return one say P back to the class while the others say Q. Pause for a second. Okay, we'll go and sit in the bus outside or vice versa and return Q to the class and P goes and sit in the bus. Note P and Q are index of students. Okay, so that's an index of students. Now you see. Okay, the professor needs your help to find the minimum possible amount of trip considering all the possible ways in which the student can be selected and organized. So we need to find the we need to help the professor to find the minimum possible amount of the trip considering all the possible ways in which the student can be selected and organized. Okay, so the input line consists of positive integer and the number of students. The second line consists a list of n positive integers a, which means the unique identification number, and the third line consists of n positive integers r, which is the roll number of the ith student. Okay, so output should be the minimum possible total that can be attained if the students are selected optimally. Done, right? So now let us see the test case. 3, 23, 45 and 56 are the unique identification number. 11, 14 and 3 are the what we call row numbers. So explanations. Professor X will select the first student, student 1 and student 3. Adding the values a of 1 into r of 3 is nothing but 23 into 3. So 23 into 3 is equal to 69 to the total. Student 1 go and sit in the bus while student 3 will return back to the class. In the next round, professor will select the remaining students, student 2 and student 3. He will be adding the a of 2 into r of 3, which means 45 into 3 is equal to 135 to the total. After this, no more pairs of the student will remain in the class, so the minimum possible amount is 69 plus plus well is something miss, so student, and he will be adding the value of a of the address 135. So on, like that's how we gonna calculate for each and everything, and after that the more students will remaining in the total number will be 69 plus 135 which is equal to 204. Okay, I think we have missed something. So the total is 135 TL here, right? Okay, once we go there, and then after this no more pairs of students will remain in the class because we have selected 2 students upon 3 students. So as a condition state that we need to the first condition stays here. You go with the first condition. So sum of cost of each of rounds as long they are at least 2 students. So at least 2 students has to be there to calculate the cost. So we have picked 2 students at the end, and there is only 1 student, so that will be leaving him off. So after that, no more pairs of the students to remain in the class. So the minimum possible amount will be 69 plus 135 is equal to 204. By reading the question, it really makes it a simple program, but it took me 30 minutes to think of the logic. Okay, so in case if you know the logic, just give me a shout out in the description box. Okay, so but I will be revealing the logic which I have written. So here you go. Very simple. I want to like lot of coding stuff. Like I won't I don't write that much bulk of lines of code, that I want to make it as optimal as I put. So this is what I find after 30 minutes of thinking and like debugging and everything. So solution, I declare a n a r and then mod, and I will be taking an array of all zeros, and then I will be iterating over it, and I will be adding each and every value, each and possible values, and then I will be giving the modulus as they told to use modulus operation, and then I will be returning the solution. Okay, so as simple as that. So basically here we go with the test case. So 3, 23, 45, 56, 11, 14, 3. Okay, so 3, 23, 45, 56, 11, 14, 3. So for this input, let us run the program and see what we got the output. So the output is 204. See the expected output because that's the output. So here we go with the expected output 204. So that's what we got, right? Okay, so these are the 3 questions that were asked. So let me show you the output after executing the code. So after executing the code, the sample test cases were passed 2 after 2, but in test cases they are given 3, but we got only 1 right, and then 2 test cases failed, and for out of 300 we got a score of 167, right? Okay, so it's really pathetic. Like we sometimes like we help most of the people to solve all those questions, but sometimes really if it works, sometimes we couldn't solve all those questions, and sometimes we work so hard to make the student success. So these were the questions that were asked in the Uber test. Okay, so I'll be giving you the code in the description box. Do check out the code. In case if you know the better code or better solutions, just paste in the description box. Our people will be people are really needing for a good developers to write need code. Okay, So that's it in this video, guys, and I'll be getting back to you later. That's it, and yeah, so I'll be placing all the code in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe our BTech channel. Sorry, let me make it clear. So don't forget to subscribe our channel BTechCareerGuide for latest job postings and career guidance, or in case if you need anything, just ping us on any of this medium. And one more thing, recently our YouTube channel got our membership enabled, so you can join in our membership group. You can directly go to our BTechCareerGuide/join. I think that works now. Let me try. You should open a pop-up. Yeah. So if in case if you use this URL, it will be opening a pop-up. Like you can join our subscription group. I'll be directly interacting with you in case if you are from outside people, okay, outside the world, outside the state. Okay, you can directly join here. Click on join, and it will be adding. Remaining process will be taken by the Google itself, Google and YouTube. You can join. I have introduced three levels, which is bronze, silver, and gold. Bronze, silver, and gold. So I have introduced all these three levels. So you can choose based on your level, and each level has certain perks. So I'll be explaining all those things in one of my video for time being. So that's the overall about this channel, and then the things which we'll be doing, and there will be few more exams that will be coming up further days, and job questions that I usually do. So that's it in this video, guys. Let's catch up in another video. For till then, have a nice day. Bye bye.